The most annoying things about living in Houston from a native Houstonian. Take it from me. My name's Mariam Hejazi. I've been helping people buy and sell residential real estate for over 12 years, and I have been loving Houston since 1987. Let's get into it. All right, so I reached out to several of my friends that are also native Houstonians, and I reached out to several of my clients that I have helped relocate here to Houston from other places and even other countries. And I asked them what are their top five annoying things about living here, and what are their top five favorite things about living here. So here is part one of my pros and cons video series. All right, we're going to start with the bad and we're going to end with the good. So, most annoying things about living in Houston, part one. So, survey says allergies. Number one was mentioned by three different people. We do have a lot of tree pollen. We have mold spores. We have lots of different grasses. We have ragweed and a plethora of other things that may mess with your allergies. I had to have allergy shots when I was a kid. I was always sneezing. I've definitely grown out of it as I've grown into an adult here in the same environment for a very long time. So you may have a problem or you may not. You never know until you get here. Summer heat is something that you will hear from 100 out of 100 people that you survey that live in and around Houston. The heat is no joke. If the thermometer says 87 degrees, it probably is a heat index of 97 to 100 degrees. If the thermometer says 95 degrees, you're looking at a heat index or feels like factor closer to 105, maybe even 110 degrees. And Lord forbid, if it actually says 100 degrees plus on the thermometer, it will easily be a heat index of 120 degrees. I am not exaggerating. I have lived it. The heat is really ridiculous. There's nothing we can do about it. We all do deal with it. Sometime at some point, someone told me that Houston is the hottest and the coldest city they have ever been to because we all live in the AC during these hot months, and the temperatures start to spike around June, late June. July will start to become very uncomfortable. July, August, September, and most of October are pretty miserable here in Houston. A lot of Houstonians leave during part of July, part of August, or all of those months. It's just really miserable here. And if you can escape it to Colorado or Montana, a lot of people do. There are a lot of Texans that spend a lot of time in the Rocky Mountain Range. There are also a lot of Houstonians that travel to the Northeast during these hot times. Okay, humidity, that adds to the feels like factor. Sometimes it is 90%, 100% humidity. It is what it is. If you have curly hair, it will frizz. And I have relatively straight hair, and my hair will get frizzy. I use a curling iron on mine, and if the humidity is very high, my hair will just like fall straight, regardless of any styling product you put in it. So, ladies, prepare for bad hair weather a lot of the time of a lot of the year here in Houston, but we all manage to survive it somehow. Okay, so number four, lack of mountains. I heard this specific feedback from multiple people. Houston is flat as a pancake. When you fly into either Intercontinental or South or not Southwest, Hobby or Intercontinental, you'll see as your plane floats in that Houston is just flat. We average about 52 feet above sea level We can't change it, people. I'm sorry. If you like the mountains and you live in Houston, you will struggle when you go hiking in the mountains. I'm a mountains and a national parks girl. I love to travel to the mountains. And when I'm personally doing these hikes, I have to take a lot of breaks because we're basically at sea level. So if you like altitude and you are moving to Houston, you might lose your altitude tolerance, I guess. Hurricanes, number five. Hurricanes and crazy storms. If you live in Houston for more than 8 months, you will experience probably a tropical storm and or a hurricane and a crazy, crazy storm or two or five. We also have insane lightning sometimes, not every storm, but some commentary from a person that lived a long time in the Midwest and Colorado. They were so surprised when they saw the lightning here. They'd never seen anything like it. I thought that was normal. It's not apparently. So we have crazy storms, we have hurricanes, and we have lightning and high winds. I know this sounds really dramatic, but you'll just have to live through it, and then you can let me know that I was right. Mosquitoes and fire ants. So we have terrible mosquitoes. When we get a lot of rain, because mosquitoes lay their eggs in standing water. When we get a lot of rain, of course, we have a swarm of mosquitoes. Sometimes the mosquitoes are humongous. A couple years ago, we all noticed that there were like mosquitoes the size of a dime. They were massive. They were all over Houston. It was like a crazy species variation. Right now in June of 2025, I haven't seen any mosquitoes the size of pterodactyls, but it is pretty early in the summer season. So we have mosquitoes and fire ants. Fire ants are called such because when they bite you, it feels like your skin is on fire. They are pretty easily avoidable, but if you're buying a house because you love backyards or you want a house with a huge lot and you intend on gardening or spending a lot of time outside, you'll have to be vigilant about ant piles. They're very easy to take care of. You can buy like a pesticide dust and they'll die within 24 hours, but mosquitoes and fire ants were a surprise to my people that are not from the US and certainly not from Texas. Feedback I also got was pollution. So we are now the third largest city in America behind New York and LA. And with that comes a lot of people and a lot of vehicles. Houston is not a public transport forward type of city. You've heard me say such things in other videos. We as Houstonians, we just don't take public transport. I don't really have a good answer for this. This is just how it is here. I myself, as a native Houstonian, have never stepped foot on a metro bus. And the only time I have ever rode the Metro Line rail is from downtown to the stadium for rodeo. We all drive everywhere, even if it's a couple blocks, because of the humidity and the heat. Yes, it is flat, but it is really hot here, and you won't really understand it until you spend a summer season here. So I got feedback about this pollution because, first of all, there are a lot of cars. Sometimes we don't get a ton of wind here. South Texas has a lot of wind, but sometimes Houston, the air is just still and heavy. I'm sure there is a scientific answer for this, but I'm in real estate, so I'm not adept at every single subject. So, yes, there is smog sometimes. If we don't have any wind or the air is really stale, you can see like a haze in the air, especially if you work downtown or you work in one of the other high rises in the other office pockets of town and you go all the way up or, the 45th floor. You will likely see a haze on these sticky, stale days. Or sometimes when you're on an overpass, that's really the only time that you can see very far in the distance in Houston. is if you're on one of Houston's large flyaway overpasses, sometimes you'll notice like a smog or a haze. I do smell exhaust when I'm driving. Sometimes you'll get behind a really big truck, or the lawn crew trucks are not always in the best condition. So um, it's not so terrible that it affects your quality of life. I don't navigate my day-to-day life centering around air quality, the air quality index, like on Google Weather or Apple Weather. I don't navigate my life based on like the smog or anything. So I think unless you are especially sensitive to air quality index, I don't see that as affecting you as you and your quality of life living here. So, just to recap, in this part of the most annoying things about living in Houston are allergies, summer heat, humidity, lack of mountains, and beauty and just general like beautiful things to look at. It's not a very visually beautiful city. We do have the bayou and it is pretty, but it is not a major feature, say like the Potomac in Washington, D.C. We have hurricanes and terrible, terrible storms and lightning and thunder. We have mosquitoes and fire ants, and we have pollution. But I will tell you that I'm a native Houstonian and I still have a very high quality of life here. I just want you to be prepared for your life whenever you move to Houston. And if you found this video because you're researching ahead of a big move to Houston, reach out and I would love the opportunity to earn your business and to help you find the pocket of town where you will be most happiest. And again, my name's Mariam Hejazi. I've been helping people buy and sell residential real estate for over 12 years, and I have been loving Houston since 1987. I will see you on part 2. Bye.